allow the two children to handle the budget every year.
What Nigerians are told to endure is what you are now watching as a movie that Kenyans are rejecting with their blood. There's a lot of lessons here. Kenya is divided like Nigeria. Politicians are very corrupt in Kenya, just like Nigeria. Nigerians are religious, Abi, so are Kenyans. Ethnic, tribe, politics, and all of this stuff, they are also very much evident in Kenya. When the government came for their source of survival, they couldn't take it anymore. They left all of their division behind and they confronted their fear. They're going to get something out of it. Don't beg your oppressors. There is no slave master that freely releases any slave in history. There is no freedom that is free. There is so much lesson to learn here. You share the broadcast, please. Thank you. Motide. So good morning and afternoon and evening to everyone. And thank you for joining me again. So this afternoon or this morning for some, we started following the developments in Kenya, in and around Kenya. So we saw how the government, their president said he was going to look into the demands of these young people, and their demands are very straightforward. Kenya, like Nigeria, William Ruto, like typical politician, told, well, I mean, he was kind of speaking in the language that appealed to young Kenyans. You know, messages like the reasons why Africa is not developing is not just the corruption. It is because of all these loans, or most of African leaders turning themselves into the puppets of Western powers. So he was speaking so glowingly well that he actually attracted supporters from outside Kenya. When he was about to be robbed of becoming president of Kenya, these young people rose against what they thought was the establishment at the time. Their president, within a year in office, did not just become a puppet of the Western power. He actually wanted himself, he positioned himself to be their poster boy in Africa. No joke. Kenyans were bleeding. Kenyans were struggling economically. But IMF and World Bank are always there to give him free cash with stringent conditions, economic conditions. Meanwhile, in one of the videos of Ruto, their president, that make it to the media by this Gen Z, you know, like somebody said, like the broadcast we had earlier today, where one Kenyan said, the mistake that the establishment in Kenya, the mistake they have made is that they have allowed the younger generation to acquire education. And this education is not about how to read and write, how to speak grammar, accent, and all of that. It is how to read the society you are living in. That, listen, if you have heard about how some people destroyed, or their actions destroyed Kenya, maybe you didn't live through that time. It is now happening. You are a young person. You are watching people who are supposed to care for the country, but caring for themselves, while the country can go to places. So the younger people are kind of more educated in that regard, that this is history in the making. We are not reading this from years ago. This is actually happening. We are watching these guys destroy our lives, destroy our education, destroy our future. We are not reading about it. That's what that guy said. He said that is the mistake that the establishment in Kenya have made, and they will find out. They will find out, and they're already finding out. As you are watching this video, there is no National Assembly in Kenya anymore right now. Maybe tomorrow, maybe they can reconvene in one hotel or one conference house elsewhere, but the National Assembly of Kenya has completely been taken over by the angry, oppressed, suppressed, brutalized, and murdered Kenyans who have had enough. And right now, they have become the role model for so many other young people across Africa. There could be a wind blowing. IMF is giving these African countries loans with ridiculous conditions. World Bank, IMF, they are tinkering with the monetary policies of all these African countries, loading them with debt and debt, while this same money, this same debt are also being looted by these African rulers. Their people are subjected into everlasting poverty. And they have to prove to the World Bank, they have to prove to the IMF that they can pay back those loans by going back to their countries and taxing their already overtaxed citizens, tax them to death. During their presidential debates, he was specifically asked about what has now become a problem in Kenya. It is now a full-blown state of emergency, by the way. But before he got to this was the Ruto that younger people in Kenya killed behind, fought for, were killed for. Like the obedient you have in Nigeria, yeah? That's exactly what it was about 2 years ago, too. In Kenya. And they all lined up to make this guy their president. But during the debate, he was asked about the tax issue. Hear him.
What do you propose to do with that? Because there's also, a current subsidy in place for that. What do you think is the solution to the rising cost of fuel, which, as you know, drives the cost of a number of other products?
I think the first thing that we need to do is to look at the taxes, because 50% almost of the cost of fuel in Kenya is taxes. I think it's time, as a country, we looked at, I think there are 15 different taxes on fuel. And I think it's time we relooked at how else do we raise revenue.
Which taxes would you be proposing to remove from fuel, the cost of fuel?
I think majority of the taxes that are in that bracket, I think there are almost 15 different taxes that are there. I do not have the specifics, but those 15, I think we need to interrogate these 15 different taxes. Which ones can we put aside so that, like other countries, we can limit the taxation on fuel? Take, for example,
let me ask. Yeah. Let me. Yes. Okay.
Take, for example, VAT.
Correct.
I think we need to rethink taxation, VAT taxation on fuel. That was the latest inclusion of taxes on fuel. And I think it was very controversial.
Yeah, Honorable Ruto, VAT on petroleum products was indeed controversial. Let me take you back to 2013 when VAT was imposed on this as a condition by IMF. At the time, then Majority Leader Aden Duale said, and I quote, "The 181 members have been convinced by our party leader and our deputy party leader on the rationale of 8% VAT on petroleum products." What do you propose?
So he's a member of parliament. He was a member of parliament himself. He was a vice president, deputy leader of Kenya at some point. And then suddenly he was like, no, I'm fighting for the poor Kenyans. You know, I'm going to, yeah. So IMF has been dealing with African countries, including Kenya, for a while. So their local politics always resonates that. People knows those who are behind their economic hardship and how their politicians are making that happen. So this guy was supposed to be a breath of fresh air. Unfortunately, it is never to be. So they put out a post for the past 2-3 weeks. They were telling their lawmakers, their senators, their reps, reject Finance Bill 2024. Don't amend it. Don't edit it. Wipe it up completely. Because this is going to push 40% more, like it's going to push 40% Kenyans into more poverty. How would you do this? And then they're like, yeah, it's just sacrifice. They need the money. This guy budgeted 1.1 Kenyan shillings, right? Which is like to say 1.1 billion naira. Not 1.1 billion per se. Because if you compare their money to that of Nigeria, you'll be looking at something about 400 billion naira, yeah? But 1.1 billion Kenyan shillings. Just for his own aides. Special advisors, they need cars, they need houses, they need to take care of themselves so that they can work for him, the president, 1.1 billion. You know? So it's the way the price of your regular commodities in Nigeria, basic things that you buy in Nigeria, milk, sugar, bread, rice, you know, food generally, the same way things jumped from 0 to over 500% increase. Is exactly how the Kenyans have been battling with that too. So they thought they had a relief. 2 weeks, they were everywhere. They were building momentum, telling these guys, reject these things. Guess what? The politicians were talking down on them. Hey, homo. Like they were threatening them. They had the social media sellers too from Kenya. Some of them not living in Kenya. Like the same way you have it in Nigeria, go. That's exactly the way it is in Kenya. Defending the government, explaining economy, explaining this whole thing is happening all over the world. The whole world is coming to the same nonsense they are telling you in Nigeria. They hired people to say the same thing to the Kenyans. But Kenyans are not that stupid, you know. They are looking at their politicians spending billions, tens, hundreds of billions of their money on taking care of themselves. To the point that there are politicians in Kenya today that are famous. Not because they have any business or anything, but they are famous for sharing thousands upon thousands of Kenyan shillings like that, right? Their money. To support churches, mosques, youth association, women association, market women, you know, all of that. Stolen money that could be used to provide proper amenities and make life easier, or even subsidize the hardship that they are unloading on the people, right? People are seeing them. There are videos. Don't do it. They said they would do it. Parents better warn their children. You better warn your children. If they dare government, so they started kidnapping them. When things like 4 or 5 days ago, they started kidnapping these young people through the social media posts. Whenever they see them post anything on social media, they will go, they will relate it and capture them. Look at all these guys. These were the people that are the famous ones that are currently kidnapped by the government. So they were told that nobody can fight government, nobody can defeat government. The Bubu sellers, they were playing mind games with people. But the main people, the real people that this thing is going to affect, nobody's going to change their mind. So this morning was supposed to be the time that the parliament will finally pass, and then, forwarded the bill to Ruto for him to sign it. And all of this protest will be for nothing. So they told everyone, don't come out. Kenya government brought in snipers to kill their own people. And indeed, they did kill people. In front of the parliament building, about 4 or 5 people were shot. There are actually 2 of them that were indeed the victims of the snipers. The world should be watching now. United Nations, America, UK, EU, all of them. See, they are watching. In the process, they are building their propaganda in a way that by the time the military move in to try to crush the protest, because that's the last resort, the politicians have run away now. Okay? So it is now, some of them have already started moving their families out of Kenya right now. There are people who have already started uploading videos of politicians leaving town, running away, because people are beginning to go and target the buildings, properties, businesses of some of those MPs in Kenya, burn them down, destroy them. I'll show you some of them. I will show you some of them. But before you got to all of this, the politicians were like, we have the power, we're always ready, we have all the instruments. So they pushed on. So this morning, the Supreme Court of Kenya released a statement concerning the kidnapped people, right? Said, I have noted with deep concern the numerous allegations regarding the abduction of protesters amid the ongoing mass protest in our country. Such actions executed by persons not identifying themselves and without presenting the abducted individuals before a court of law amount to a direct assault on the rule of law, human rights, and constitutionalism, which are our guiding national values and principles of governance as enshrined in Article 10 of the Constitution. I want you to pay attention to the wording, so that's why I'm reading. That is why I'm reading that out. The Supreme Court of Kenya made a statement, and that statement is not to threaten the protesters to start with. It is to acknowledge that Kenyans are being kidnapped for asking the government to step down a bill that will make 40% of them more poorer. And the government is going to do it anyway. Whether they like it or not, nothing is going to happen. We're going to do it. Then they started kidnapping their own citizens, torturing them, shooting them, and killing them, right? So the Supreme Court, which is the office of the Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court of Kenya, right? They said our transformative constitution mandates that law enforcement operates strictly within the confines of the Bill of Rights and the law. Article 49 specifies the right of arrested persons, including the right to be informed of the reasons for the arrest, to communicate with an advocate and others whose assistance is necessary, and to be presented before a court as soon as reasonably possible, but not later than 24 hours after the arrest. Furthermore, Article 51 addresses the right of persons detained or held in custody, including their entitlements to petition for an order of habeas corpus. Given these constitutional guarantees, I call upon all state agencies within the justice sector to uphold their constitutional duties and ensure that their actions are compliant with both the Constitution and the law. Any deviation from the stipulations of the Bill of Rights and the law not only invites anarchy and lawlessness in our country, but also constitutes a severe assault on the value order of governance stipulated in Article 10 of the Constitution. Agencies within the justice sector, working under the auspices of the National Council on the Administration of Justice, NCAJ, have in the past committed to working towards ensuring that ours becomes a human rights-based criminal justice system that adheres to the Constitution, particularly the Bill of Rights and the law. I therefore urge all agencies in the justice sector to process any criminal actions lawfully and to investigate and address the allegations regarding abductions related to the ongoing protest with utmost urgency. I take this opportunity to assure the nation that the courts are prepared to operate beyond standard working hours if the abducted persons are presented before court, and also to consider any petitions for habeas corpus. This commitment is to ensure that our nation continues on the path of the rule of law and constitutionalism, and to guarantee that all state and non-state actors operate within the strict boundaries erected by our Bill of Rights. Honorable Justice Martha Koome, Chief Justice and Chairperson of the National Council on the Administration of Justice, NCAJ. So that is lesson number 1, which simply means that the protesters, they are operating based on their rights as long as they are peaceful. The security agencies themselves, or security agents themselves, they must also be professional by protecting these protesters. Any use of force or abducting people that the court is not aware of is actually a violation of the Constitution. Now, that is the Supreme Court judge saying that already to the government of Ruto. Anything where you put your hand in, our hand no deal. We just want you to know that all these actions that you are taking, remember, there is actually law. They are not threatening, using a section of a criminal code to threaten the citizens. Imagine if the Supreme Court released a statement and says, all Kenyans, we need to warn you, parents, you need to warn your children. This justice system will be very much clinical and threaten them. That's what will happen in Nigeria. That's lesson number 1. Okay? Then lesson number 2. These protesters, they categorically said, if these lawmakers should go ahead and pronounce the pass of that bill, they will never be able to move it beyond the premises of the National Assembly. So today, when they put this poster out, they called it total showdown. It is now or never. You know what I mean? If we don't actually stop it now, that's it. All the people killed, people kidnapped, harassed, assaulted, and the rest of them, they would have all died for nothing. All of this would have been for nothing. The government didn't back down. They mobilized more soldiers, more policemen armed to the teeth to face the angry citizens. And according to Kenyans, they said this is the first time in a very long time in their history that a protest like this will happen in Kenya, and it will happen simultaneously, just at the same time, all over Kenya. No parts stepped away. Even those paid by government to stage the protests that they are in support, some of them had to run away when they saw the coming legion. And according to them, we don't fear what our parents feared. You either listen to us, or you have to give way for us. And that's exactly what is going on in Kenya as we speak. A state of emergency, national emergency, has been declared by the military. Because according to them, there is a serious security problems in Kenya right now. They haven't overthrown the government yet, but we don't know where that is headed. Ladies and gentlemen, let us go to Kenya from midday today when things started becoming steamy. It started becoming very hot. And the politicians who were bragging, who felt protected, safe, Baba, they bled. Politicians bled in Kenya today. Few ones they were able to catch. Like this guy on the right. He is one of the loudmouth politicians in Kenya. National Assembly member. When they found him, well, the picture tells the story. Abi? So let's go to how all of that happened. From the beginning, midday today.
The epicenter of the demonstrations that we are seeing against it.
The kind of anger we have caused in this country, I dread, God forbid, is the kind of anger that made the citizens of Burkina Faso to burn down parliament. And when the president of Burkina Faso, that was 3 years ago, I'm not talking about prehistory. When the president of Burkina Faso heard the parliament is in flames, he fled. His name is Blaise Compaoré. And that's how he was voted out of office. By fire. Mr. Speaker, by fire, by force.
Ladies and gentlemen, hapa ni Nakuru. We are at opposite State House. As you can see, niko nyuma kidogo. And what's going on? Karibu na gate pale, already there are very many citizens who wanajaribu ku access State House Nakuru. Guys, it's our tax, eh? Tuna reject finance bill whether they like it or not. Nairobi muendelee hivyo hivyo, tunasikia mshaingia bunge. Hapa Nakuru tuko nje State House, we are almost getting in a few.
Who unto them that degree and Russia's decrease, sir, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people. This word was said by Zakayo Mtoza Ushuru. Zakayo Mtoza Ushuru. Reject! 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 Reject!
Speaking. That's the first part. Sorry, there are some of the videos are like not stable. I did my best to try to stabilize them, but that's the most I could get. Because, they are like recorded by, the participants who are mostly amateurs, they're like amateur videos. So I have to put them together to give you that, okay? So this was them trying to, some of them were moving into the parliament building, okay? Some were moving straight to the state house. And it was in that legion kind of form, that crowd. When they approached the gates of the parliament, the military, the police, they were there. Snipers up there. And then, I don't know, they just felt like, we can't stay here. We need to get inside. So, breaching the barrier or the blockade resulted into shooting. And just about like 3 people were killed there. One of them was shot in the head, and people believed that it was the sniper. Another one was also shot probably in the neck or on in the chest, rather, right? They said that that too was probably from the sniper. They caught the sniper. I won't show you the video because by the time they found him, you don't want to see what he looked like. So let's leave that for now. But before things get to that stage, right? Let me show you when they finally had the opportunity of gaining access into the National Assembly. They found the maze. Well, let me show you. There's no point in just telling you what you are going to see anyway.
Let's go back. Go back. Go back. How can you go back? Leave me alone. I'm not telling you. I'm not talking to you. Go back. Rudi nyuma. Na mimi sina haja na wewe. Niko na haja na Ruto. Niko na haja na finance bill. Niko na haja na ile polisi ambaye anateseka. Wewe unapata mshahara. Wewe unapata mshahara. Mimi sina mshahara. I am fighting for my life. Just go back. Go back. Go back. 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 Back.
Somebody said their police, they have listening ears. You see, you're not too easy to be convinced. Kenyan police have been killing protesters. The number of people they have killed today is yet to be ascertained. They have brutalized come on, man. Is it because that guy, maybe say they know say that one like someone die? And there are cameras here more. See, let's just leave this one. Don't get deceived though. What you are watching in Kenya, right? Should be what should be happening in Nigeria. So lesson number 2. Lesson number 2 so far is that the Kenyans who are buying bread at exorbitant prices, who are buying petrol, who are buying food, Kenyans who knows that very soon they won't be able to afford food. They were not on social media calling on Kenyans abroad to come back home, to come and join them before they would then stand up and face the criminals that are snuffing life out of them. They did not. That's lesson number 2. Again, I told you, there is no excuse you have in Nigeria. Everything that you are enduring in Nigeria, that you are giving excuses for in Nigeria. Economic hardship, economic this, insecurity, right? Especially economic hardship, unemployment, high taxes, corruption, wastefulness, wastages in public by politicians. All of these are what the Kenyans are facing. And there are many Kenyans living abroad. You see those Kenyans you just watched now? They didn't wait and started calling on, hey, why don't you come back home? Why don't you come back home and come and join us to protest that we can no longer afford food? The problem is that we are too divided. Maiyegun. See, there are some people that, you see, they love all these things I know. But do you know that those things exist in Kenya too? And a lot of the ruling class, they are surprised. They are saying it that hey, this is the first time, right? That people are actually going to come out and stand up against the system when they are not sponsored. Government blackmail them. Now some politicians, they sponsor them. Now those ones in diaspora, they were even accusing the Kenyans in diaspora now. Government accused them that they were the ones who were raising money for these people to pay for hospital bills, medicals, food, drinks, and other stuff in organizing this protest. And it's actually everything. It is like somebody wrote a book on how EndSARS started, okay? And how it went day by day. But when it got to a stage of going after the criminals, that was when the book on EndSARS finished. So Kenyans, they are now finishing the edition of that supposed youth revolution that was to start in Nigeria 4 years ago. But it was crushed. And then everybody just resorted back to their bigotry, resorted back to their tribalismo, ethnicism, and religious supremacy after that. And younger people since then, including the angry citizens of Nigeria, have not been able to find it together anymore. So Kenyans are finishing the book now. You just sit back. I have seen some of them in Nigeria saying, all these ones that we are doing a protest, you are protesting. You are going to Ojota. You are going to Iworodu. You are protesting. You are going to Freedom Park, Abuja. You have the 3-arm zone, where you have the judiciary, where you have the Aso Rock, where you have the National Assembly, where you can mobilize your thousands of yourselves like a legion. Go to all those state assembly, state government houses all over Nigeria, and you see how these criminals are going to run away. Unfortunately, what Nigerians thought they were, or let me say, Nigerians will think they were like the Kenyans. We did it before. No, you didn't finish it. Now some are finishing it. That's lesson number 3. Lesson number 4 is that in this time and moment of history making or making history in Kenya, the religious body are not trying to play a scaremongering game. They were not asking the country to start praying instead of standing up and facing the rogues. There is snuffing life out of everyone. They joined them. They encouraged the government to listen. They mobilized. They mobilized their members to join. Not just that, they themselves were at the forefront too. I'll show you more. Let's go back to Kenya. This also happened today.
We, the Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops, have recently formally raised our very serious concerns on the finance bill to the government. We appreciate that some major revisions were done to the draft bill, responding to the suggestions from the public participation, but still feel that some of our important suggestions were not addressed. We call upon the legislators to be guided by their conscience in addressing this bill and the good of the Kenyans. We emphasize that every citizen must pay taxes, but the government must not overtax.
Sorry to cut you short quickly. Sorry about that. Because I put all the clips together, all right? You see, the last part of this video you are watching, now that clip you are about to watch, right? The last part, all those burning, all those shaking and destruction of properties, the people actually went after the politicians that voted yes, senators, reps or so, National Assembly, members of parliament that voted yes. After taking over the parliament, chasing them away, some of them escaped in the expensive automobiles they bought for them with the public money. Why the people so far, they are buying themselves expensive, like Nigeria, where your lawmakers are buying cars of 160 million naira. They did the same thing in Kenya. One of them escaped in nearly destroyed, completely right off a Jeep. He drove away to escape. Then they went after their properties. They know them, they know their houses. They started burning down their houses, started burning down their business. Some of them who have accumulated wealth, stolen money through corruption, and they built themselves shopping complexes, hotels, right? Who have built this and built that. More people, they burn everything down. I thought I should kind of let you know ahead, okay? It is a long watch. Let's continue from Kenya. The religious body are not playing holy. Pray for us. They are at the forefront telling themselves, Omo, listen.
We, the Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops, have recently formally raised our very serious concerns on the finance bill to the government. We appreciate that some major revisions were done to the draft bill, responding to the suggestions from the public participation, but still feel that some of our important suggestions were not addressed. We call upon the legislators to be guided by their conscience in addressing this bill and the good of the Kenyans. We emphasize that every citizen must pay taxes, but the government must not overtax its citizens, and it should not be in denial about its intended excessive taxation. the country is bleeding, and therefore we invite the government to reflect on this matter with the seriousness it deserves. Number 2.
Guys have made it into parliament. They have made it inside the parliament.
Zakayo must go! 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 Zakayo must go!
Pasua yote.
Hata tusipoingia tumevunja.
Tumevunja.
Tusipoingia tumevunja.
listen, there is no amount of weapons in the hands of their policemen. There is no amount of soldiers and army that they may have, any country may have, that can ever overpower the will of determined people. The policemen that you are seeing in that video, they are looked humble or a little bit like arms down. It's because they can see what they are dealing with. Do you understand that? If things become so rowdy, they were outnumbered. They will kill some people, or all of them too will die. Do you understand what I mean? These numbers that they have, they were able to immobilize or demobilize many of their trucks that the trucks they used in bringing their soldiers, their policemen. Most of them were demobilized by those younger people, those young people. They came with their own gas masks. I told you about this before. You don't go to a protest that you want to deal with criminals that are willing and ready to shoot and kill you. And then you go there with a placard and soli. You must be willing and ready that if they have to come at you, at least before some of you are not fully geared or protected, when they are running for cover, those of you that are geared, you will keep up the number, keep up the momentum, and you are the ones that will wear them out. Also, there's no number of military or policemen they have in Kenya that can actually take the people out anymore. A lot of people are already awake, and their protest is not happening in, let's say, in the cities. You need to go to the remote areas as well. And as we speak, since the National Assembly has been taken over, ruined, destroyed, nobody can sit and pass any bill there. There are always politicians too who are part of the system that somehow, they will always switch sides. It's always normal. It is the time you will get to know those who are, if they are given an option, they will always be on the side of the people, which is on the on the populist side. The people is always going to be the ones with the power. All these abuses you are facing in Nigeria, it is because you let them. But what do you want us to do? Look at those ones who are your mates. Kenya, 55 million. Tribalized, ethnicized, religionized, corrupt. But guess what? There's always enough that people can take. I heard people saying that it's already cooking in Nigeria too. Well, maybe those ones who are with them sharing the 160 million cars and the rest of that, they better start getting ready. Or if they don't get ready to switch side, when the whole Kasala will burst inside that contraption too, you will not see Hausa, you will not see Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, Fulani, or anything. All of you will eventually unite one of these days. And you're going to see all of your criminal leaders as one tribe of criminals. You will see them as one religion of criminals. You will see them as one ethnic of criminals, and you have nothing in association with them. So you want them down. A few of them will probably speak out. Let's go back to Kenya again, when politicians are now going after themselves. We told you, we know all of this. We will go after them. People should, like that. Yeah.
The epicenter of the demonstrations that we are seeing against this regime, and also as an elected member of this house. Number one, we want to thank the members of Azimio who heeded the call of our constituent parties to drop any and all amendments that they had proposed to the finance bill in response to the call by Kenyans that what they want to see is a total repudiation, a total rejection of the proposals by the Kenya Kwanza regime and not amendments. So we want to assure members of the public that the 76 members of ODM who voted no, the 108 members of Azimio who voted no in the second reading of this bill will be there to stand with Kenyans again at the third reading, and our position is you cannot amend something that is as bad as what it is that has come from the Kenya Kwanza regime. Number two, we want to condemn the police in the strongest terms possible and the regime itself, because despite the promises that were made during the campaigns that we will not see instruments of state being used against those who would dissent against this government being used, we have seen goons raiding homes of innocent young people at 2 a.m., very ungodly hours. The ungodly president is raiding people's homes at ungodly hours. At 2 a.m., they picked up Gabriel Oguda from his house here in Nairobi, and the others that the leader has read out their names, including Kina Osama, were picked up from their houses, not from the streets. And we want to say that you must release Gabriel Oguda unconditionally and immediately. And all the others who have been arrested or actually kidnapped by the police and some ghouls working at the behest of William Ruto. Number 3, we want to commend the young people who have continued to pile the pressure on members of parliament to ensure that the voices of the people are heard. I want to say this again. Be afraid not. You have nothing to fear. This is your country, and you will take this movement to its logical conclusion. We are here on standby. If there is any need or requirement or help you need from us, let us know, and we will do it. I want to speak to the Kenya police, my brothers and sisters in uniform. Those young children on the streets are not your enemies. The enemy is the one shipping you to Haiti. Despite the position of the people of Kenya that we do not support the deployment of police to Haiti, he is shipping off our police officers. And to add insult to injury, he's only paying them a fifth of what they were supposed to be paid on that particular mission. We are being told our police officers have been paid only 20,000 shillings to go to Haiti. Yet William Ruto was given $100 million by the US government for this particular mission. He is eating 80% of that money and sending you off to face those people in Haiti. And it is against the wishes of the people of Kenya. So I want our police officers to know that the public is not your enemy. We are fighting on the same side. Even here in Parliament, members of the police officers who work here were supposed to be added money, 20,000 shillings in addition to the allowances they receive here. Their boss came here and told them that they told the leadership of Parliament that if police officers working here are added money to their salaries, at wataharibu kazi. And yet these people are working for the Republic of Kenya. The bosses in the police force plus Ruto are the enemy, not the young people in the streets there. So please, stop brutalizing these young people. We are on the same side. In fact, the police should be joining these young people to say Ruto must go. Number 3, the country is bigger than William Ruto. What you are seeing out there is a total repudiation of William Ruto and what he stands for. The entire country has risen up to say Ruto must go. We want the president, because he has failed at this particular moment in time, even withdrawal of that bill will not be enough. William Ruto, resign as president of the Republic of Kenya, because you have failed Kenyans. From your own home in Sugoi, all the way up the mountain, down the lake, across the coast, Kenyans are saying, you go, because you have failed as a president of the Republic of Kenya. Lastly, we will protect the freedoms that we are hard fought for in this country. We are hearing plans of them trying to shut down live broadcasting of these proceedings, including the proceedings out in the streets. We are being told there are plans to shut down the internet. We want them to know, whether in the light or in the darkness, all these evil people will fall. Whether they shut down media or not, all these people will fall, because the people of Kenya have said, this is enough. Enough is enough. William Ruto, you must resign as the president of the republic. You have failed the people of Kenya. I thank you.
Honorable Speaker, as I second, of course, even though we didn't discuss this in the House Business Committee, the leader majority has explained to me, and I think it is an innocent motion, Honorable Speaker. I will second it. But as I do so, Honorable Speaker, I'm reminded that, and I'm happy with your ruling, your directive to the leader majority on the issue I raised earlier. I'm very happy with that in 2 hours' time we shall get some feedback. But I'm also reminded that in addition to Oguda, there are other 7 Kenyans who are also under abduction. And these are Osama, one called Dre, Tempa CR7, Harriet, Shad Kiprono, Franje, and Wildsmith. These are young Kenyans. They are basically Gen Z, who are also missing. They are also parliamentary staffers? No. They are not. They are not. They are Kenyans. Yes. There are Kenyans who are patriotic, Honorable Speaker. So as the leader majority consults with the IG of police, Mr. Comey, let the IG also come forth with the whereabouts of these other 7 Kenyans.
Pass on the names to the majority leader.
Yes.
Right. But they did not finish when the young people took over the parliament. And so many of them right now, they are currently in hiding, especially those ones who voted yes. These are the missing and believed to have been abducted Kenyans. These are the missing Kenyans, believed to have been abducted by the Ruto's government in their effort to stop today's showdown protests. So as we speak, the next line of action is to see if Ruto would have to go, indeed, resign. Because as they are saying now is that people have died. So he's lost credibility. He won't resign. He's an African president. It's not possible. So they said he should resign and just go. Withdrawing that bill is never going to even make it up to them. So which means whatever we have witnessed today, it is not over. I can promise and assure you of that. So tomorrow will be another day, right? So to the Kenyans, we just want you to know that a lot of us are rooting for you. To the Nigerians, I know a lot of you want to see that thing happen. But you should always remind yourselves, if you are still if you are still waiting for people abroad to come back, before you will know that you need to actually face these rogues yourselves, then maybe all this whole thing is lost on you. So I'll leave you to it. Let's go back to that Nigeria. Here is their Senate president. I mean, listen, this is number 3 man in Nigeria.
Legislator with great experience, the former chief whip of the House of Representatives, and a great representative of the good people of Borno State. So we value him a lot, and that's why we are here. And to say that, yes, we also condole with the governor and the good people of the entire senatorial district and the state as a whole. And to assure you that the 10th Senate is alive to its responsibilities of catering for the welfare of Nigerians through legislation. We'll continue to do our best. And with him guiding us, very experienced, we cannot go wrong. To dispense the rumor that you are hearing that the Senate President said that he will buy a brand new plane for the President and the Vice, irrespective of the fact that Nigerians are hungry or whatever. I never said that. I was actually in Tanzania, in Zanzibar. So this is the handiwork of propagandists and people who never see, and feed columnists who never see anything good in what we are doing. Just be rest assured. Pray for the government, have patience, and be assured that the combination of Thiefnubu and Shetima will bring wealth and prosperity to all. Borno, I'm happy to see that the peace has returned to Borno, and this is also as a result of the hard work of the current administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I want to urge the good people of Borno to continue to support President Tinubu and his Vice President. Legislator with great experience.
Nuisance, Lily.
Our nuisance to Nigeria now. Those are the people who we just want the people to always pray for the president. I want them to continue to pray for the president so that the president can bring prosperity to all of us. We are the 10th House of Assembly. We are the best. We are doing everything to make sure that our life of our people are better. Where was I the last time when they said that I wanted to buy a plane for Thiefnubu again? Zanzibar. I was in Zanzibar, Tanzania. I can't wait to see the real generation that is not going to be so scared about what they told them in the Quran and in the Bible that they used to scare them away or bow them, bow the knee, bow your head for your leaders. I mean, I hope, you know, because I do know that too, that my work on this platform has its own audience. And most of you who are prominent here, all of now we be say we don't grow thick teeth like that. No. Majority of you are older, watching MaiyegunsDiary Politico. I think, you see, when they watch, they will be like, Maiyegun, I don't know. I just, every time I watch you like this, I just became so sad. Maiyegun, this is your program tonight, I was crying, literally. Because this platform just reminds you of what should have been done. And a lot of you look at yourself, you're like, I wish I am like 30 years younger. And I know all these things I am knowing now. But now that you see that there's nothing you can really do, have you not noticed? Now, some of you now on this platform, it's always asking people, we need to do something. All of us need to write. See, our people need to stand up. Our people need to, because you know that you are older now, you can't really do much anymore, even if you wish. And you really wish these younger people would do something. I wish these younger people, I wish I am still young. I would have gone after all these people. I would have carried gun. I said, Daddy, calm down. I know. It feels like that. That is why my message and everything you get from here is specifically for a generation that is not going to bow down to Oli, Abi, Allah Akbar, and all of that. No, they won't bow to any of that when they are dealing with the criminals that are actually destroying their lives. I'm talking to a generation that is not going to be singing solidarity forever. So, no, I'm not talking to that generation. There's going to be a generation that's not going to sing soli. A generation that is not going to sing tribalism, or a generation that's not going to sing ethnicism or all those things. A generation that is not going to gather under the bridge or gather on the roadside. Generation that will actually go after the criminals like Apabiole. Those are the people I'm creating my content for. They are seated there. They are wondering, wow. And they are looking up to some of you, the adults. Mom, is that true? And you're like, it's true, Jerry, my son, man. You see that Nigeria, it's only God. And your son is like, what do you mean it's only God that will fix it? Is everything Maiyegun showing us or talking about, are they true, Mom? It is true, my dear. See that country, it's only God. Mom, what do you mean by it's only God that's going to fix it? So you mean everything Maiyegun is saying is true? You know that? You do know, Mom? Say, yes, I know. Dad. So you actually know that, you know everything that Maiyegun is talking about. You know? Say, yes, I do. And what did you do about it? Well, there is nothing we can do, Charade Junior. See, Mapami, listen, I am working hard to send you to school. I'm working hard to make you somebody in life, okay? Leave Nigeria problem alone. Nigeria will fix it. What do you mean I should leave Nigeria problem alone, Dad? Are you actually listening to Maiyegun? Did you listen to him? There is no future. All your investment on me is going to be a waste. Why are you wasting your time struggling to pay my school fees when you know that it's never going to be useful in this place? Are you not thinking about that? I am talking to that generation. I'm not talking to some of you who are still doubting. The only thing I don't like about that Maiyegun is because I wish Maiyegun is born again. There are some of you who wishes that I am born again. There are some of you who wishes that he said that he was raised as Abdul Rashid, a Muslim. I really wish he stayed that way. It would have been a beautiful this or that. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. I'm just here to make you feel guilty when you know the role you are playing in all of this. how you are enabling this madness in Nigeria in your own small way by gaslighting people, blackmailing people, discouraging people from speaking out. That is why you are watching me every evening. It is to make you feel guilty, whatever role you are playing in all of this. Because in Nigeria, all of us, they shout, say, all of them are bad. Every of these criminals, all these people. But majority of you, too, you have relationship with them. You know some of them. Some of you, you have benefited directly from them. But you are here, adding to the number of the viewers. You are making sense, Maiyegun. It's true. But you are probably doing like this to me. You're wasting your time. I'm not talking to you. In case some of you don't know. A lot of you can't really be really useful anymore. Nigeria has dealt with a lot of us, Baba. 28 years of my life was spent in Nigeria. Do you really think if Nigeria was a real place, that 28 years would have just been like that? No, it won't. And there are many other 28-year-olds in Nigeria today who have no idea what their life is going to be about, what they want to do with their lives right now. You know? So when you come onto my platform that way, right, it is to make you feel guilty, in case if I haven't told you. A lot of you need to feel guilty, but a lot of you can't do anything. That's why you come here all the time and you're like, people need to do something. Our people need to, which our people? You are seated. You are not standing. But we are here every evening with you. I know. That's good. I want you to be a vessel, Ni. It's not because you can change anything. Some of you cannot. Some of you are already dry fish. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing you can do. It's not your fault anymore. It's late in you. But you can still be a vessel. A vessel of truth. A vessel, you know, like a seed of almond that be almond seed. You are not completely useless. You can still be a vessel of that good message for the younger generations around you. You can help us make that number grow faster. That's why you are also here. There's a generation that is not going to be shouting, we no go gree, oh, we no go gree. Lie, never. We no go gree. Beside Kata Bridge in Lagos. Far away from Alausa. Freedom Park, Abuja. Far away from the Aso Rock. No, that's not the generation that's going to kind of make any difference, right? You see now, like the message is also multi-purpose, Abi. The system you have in Nigeria will continue to produce the likes of Akpabiole. Yes. Until we have people who are enlightened, educated enough to help us join us in destroying that establishment, the entire structure of their establishment that is the weapon fashioned against every one of us, if we get sense. They need education. They do. Nigeria is being led by charlatans, lawless criminals. Lawbreakers are their lawmakers, you know, drug dealers, money launderers, treasury looters, human traffickers, gun runners, terror sponsors, terror jihadist sponsors. These are those who are taking decisions for that contraption. There's no way you can win that. No way. Talking about court though, right? This guy is saying something about, I want you to listen, Sha.
What is it that Fubara did not give you that led to this war, that led to an impeachment being served on him on that day, that led to him being fired at and the hot water tank sprayed on him by the police? I want all Nigerians to ask that question, because getting at that question will help us to unravel what this whole madness is all about. What happened? Because even as Waju, with all his political maverick style, doesn't control Lagos 100%. They share it among the key stakeholders you have in the GSC or what they call that group. But you are the only one. You bought all their nomination form. You bought their pillowcase and their bed. You put the senators, you put the rep, you put the state assembly, you put the local government. You have the commissioner for finance, you have IGRIC, you have works, you have accountant general, you have chairman of board. You have everything. You awarded the project. The soul of the government, you have it. So what could have led to this same man that you are basically holding hostage become somebody you wanted to disgrace, impeach him even when he did not commit one single impeachable offense. At that moment, anybody that is honorable and reasonable enough must be able to say, no, this is not right. And that is why I said, provide answers to this. So, and then, because if these answers are not provided, then one can assume it might be greed. It might be excessive dictatorial tendencies that must have led you to now say, you even capture the man's air, so that you ration the air that he's going to breathe. So this whole thing was unwarranted. Fubara is not the aggressor. And who means what? My friend, Nyesom Wike, is the aggressor, not Fubara. The offer for vice president. And which will bring us to the issue of, you once made us believe that this struggle was about South. So if they have made you that VP, so it wasn't about South, it was about you. So the South is you. Because now, yes, for whatever reason, Atiku didn't announce him as vice president. He announced Okowa. Is Okowa a lesser human to be a vice presidential candidate? For whatever reason, it was about service and the South. Since you are willing to be a VP, but it wasn't given to you, it was given to Okowa, your brother, you support him. You support him 100%. So people can go. Today, we in the Southeast South, we don't have VP, we don't have president. Courtesy of you. Everything was thrown to the ground. So character, measuring character is also important, because now we begin to realize, from the beginning, you brought shade. Because when people say he contributed so much, no. He didn't contribute more than some of us. We all contributed. Everybody contributed. Because the question I will ask you, what did you actually save us from? You saved us from the fire you put. So when a man puts fire in his bedroom and he gets an extinguisher to take it out, we will hail him as a great man. You brought Sheriff single-handedly. Some of us had reservation about it because of his past in AMPP. Who started quarrel with Sheriff when they were shooting canisters in Port Harcourt at the convention? You. It ended in commotion, remember? We all went to court. Part of that court I went. I was the one that secured it. I went to court. I secured the injunction, the court judgment that nullified Sheriff chairmanship and quest to hold on to power. I have stake. I know this journey very well. So you led us into that crisis. Then at the end of the day, party was polarized. Crisis everywhere. We managed to survive that era. Factions in every part of the party. In Edo, he has Danobi, them creating crisis. In Cross River, he has Sandy Omodem creating crisis. There's no part of Nigeria that didn't have faction. In Ekiti, he has Fayoshe. One man against one political party in pursuit and ambition that we later realize it was about him to be president or vice president. So in all these things, you still went to the convention. I fought for him. But truth, if you're a Democrat, he was defeated. To God who made him. We lost. He was defeated. So at the end of the day, he didn't become vice president. But he made us believe that it was about Southern agenda. There was no Southern agenda. Because as long as you are willing to be a vice president, it was all about you. Then you fought Okowa and Atiku them. You're right. You followed Aswaju. You worked for APC. Even in that outing, he lost Port Harcourt. Have you forgotten? Obi defeated them. We saw the panel-beating of the results. Some of them were uploaded to the IRM. So even this own magic people said he was going to bring to Aswaju, there was no magic he brought to Aswaju. Aswaju victory never came from Port Harcourt. It came from other parts of the country. Obi them still wiped them out in Port Harcourt. And they were struggling to hang on to that little vote they were able to panel beat out. That is the simple truth. But the only problem is that because over the years people have associated with him, or maybe benefited from him or whatever, they cannot look him in the eyes and tell him the truth. Some of them elders, enough to be my father. But they can't. I was not raised like that. I was not raised like that. So I can't, because of personal relationship or friendship, and I see something that repeatedly keeps going wrong and I support it. So the notion of there's nothing personal in it, and there's no sacrifice that is out of this world greater than that of the likes of Ele Sekweme, Solomon Law, Okwande, name them, all the great men and women who founded Adamu Chiroma and so on and so forth, who founded this party. No. Some weakest contribution is not bigger than that. So the values those people left, those crop of people that
we're talking about one man, Were Wike, talking about the characters, men without characters. And then they can't, because it's all about power though, right? Shameless as well. Lawless, shameless, lawbreakers. They have no real connection to the people. They don't have any connection other than what they believe their money could do. And where did they get the money from? From the public treasury. Money that could have provided and make life easier for everyone in that country. Ended up in private pockets to pursue political self-agendas. They tried it many times. Anyway, let me quickly take us back to Kenya, where Ruto just issued a press state, he released a press statement from the government house after what happened this afternoon in Kenya. Let's go back there quickly. We'll continue.
Today, Kenya experienced an unprecedented attack on its democracy, rule of law, and the integrity of its constitutional institutions. An otherwise legitimate expression of the fundamental rights and freedoms of assembly, demonstration, picketing, and petitioning of public authorities by a section of law-abiding citizens of the Republic of Kenya was infiltrated and hijacked by a group of organized criminals. Most regrettably, today's attack on Kenya's constitutional order has resulted in the loss of lives, also destruction of property and desecration of institutions and emblems of our sovereignty. Today's events mark a critical turning point on how we respond to grave threats to our national security. I assure the nation that the government has mobilized all resources at the nation's disposal to ensure that a situation of this nature will not recur again at whatever cost. I thank our security officers who were on duty today for applying themselves to the best of their abilities in the defense of Kenya and its people. Accordingly, I have directed all the organs of our national security to deploy measures to thwart any attempt by dangerous criminals to undermine the security and stability of our country. As the people of Kenya go to bed tonight, I give you my assurance that your security, that of your families and property, remains my utmost priority. To the young people of Kenya, who I must thank for helping our country organize our democratic discourse around issues, I thank you and assure you that the conversation you have begun around pertinent issues of our nation will continue to inform our policy and governance decisions. As I promised on Sunday, this conversation will not be in vain. I will not only champion for the cause of issue-based, policy-oriented, and tribeless engagement on critical national issues, but also provide a framework for this conversation to be processed and its outcomes implemented. However, our national conversation on any subject matter must be conducted in a manner that respects and honors the foundational values upon which our nation is established, namely constitutionalism, the rule of law, and respect for institutions. It is very painful for Kenya that a conversation this crucial was hijacked by dangerous people who have caused us the kind of loss we have incurred as a nation today. It is possible that the criminals who rained terror on innocent people and attempted to challenge our law enforcement deployments are still determined to continue with their dangerous behavior. I assure the nation of the government's determination to fulfill its constitutional duty of protecting the people of Kenya against all forms of harm. I hereby put on notice the planners, financiers, orchestrators, and abettors of violence and anarchy that the security infrastructure established to protect our republic and its sovereignty will be deployed to secure the country and restore normalcy. It is not in order or even conceivable that criminals pretending to be peaceful protesters can rain terror against the people, their elected representatives, and the institutions established under our Constitution and expect to go scot-free. We must isolate crime from democratic expression and separate criminals from people exercising the freedom of expression and divergent opinion. I shall continue to lead a government that is fully committed to maintaining the integrity of our state, promoting the unity of our nation, and enhancing the peace and security of all citizens and their livelihoods. I am bound under sacred constitutional mandate to respect, uphold, and defend the Constitution of Kenya, which declares that all sovereign power belongs to the people, and that this power shall be exercised only in accordance with the Constitution. The government will therefore uphold its constitutional mandate to secure our nation and its development, and shall treat every threat to national security and the integrity of our state as an existential danger to our republic. Accordingly, I assure Kenyans that we shall provide a full, effective, and expeditious response to today's treasonous events. Thank you.
Nuisance lele. Nuisance lele.
Typical African. While he was saying all that nonsense, let me show you what I picked from his speech repeatedly. I don't know if my camera can pick that right. Things like, see, you'll be seeing things like dangerous criminals, terror on institutions, anarchy, more threats, right? From his speech, he called protesters, Kenyans, he called them dangerous criminals that hijacked the protest. He said they unleashed terror on institutions That is, he said they attack democratic institutions as well. He said they unleashed anarchy. Then he threatens them more. He will use all the power. He said these people are existential danger to Kenya. He said he repeatedly kept saying he will protect the people. Kenyans, I will protect you from these dangerous criminals. He said we must isolate crime. Then he said something about we must separate criminals from, I picked that. He said power belongs to the people. The sovereign power belongs to the people, right? But that power has been given to them as government and they will use it, okay? I kind of put them down repeatedly. Typical. We will come for you. We will make sure that by telling the millions of Kenyans that those who tried that thing with us, who challenged us from overtaxing you, those people that we shot and killed today, they were trying to, take over the government, sort of. They are dangerous people. If you have them in your communities, please call the police. Everybody that is participating in the protest is a dangerous person. That is the narrative, and it's been spread out just like that. Does anything sound off to you at all or something sounds so similar? Because it is typical, especially if you are from Nigeria watching me right now. It's not backing down. His own masters from here, his puppet masters, they've called him. Ruto, what are you going to do now? Are you not going to pass the bill? No, don't worry. I told you, right? We're passing the bill. Are you going to pass it and collect the $2.5 billion loan or not? No, we will pass it. Don't worry. Give us time. Please give us time. We are working on it. Are you sure? Yes. There are possibly other dictators in Africa. They've called him too. You need to be very strong. You must not appear weak. He actually appeared weak. He appeared angry, right? Upset, but not as a strong-willed person. He appeared weak. I've been at my eyes, they deceived me. I'll show you now. This is his hand. He is a weak man that wants to appear strong. Your people are very much clear why they don't want this. You know, you are only asking them to take it, to accept it, suffer for it, that they will enjoy it later. And they said, if you want us to suffer for it, then you too should suffer for it too. Not by giving yourself, splashing billions upon billions on yourselves, and then you tell the people to bear the hardship. And when they said no, you call them criminals, right? And then you can use the weapons. You call them terrorists. You call them anarchists. Just a reason to get them killed. In Nigeria, Buhari started killing the Shiites because of the religious division in northern Nigeria as well, because they get like a 2-3 version of Islam there. And all of them claim that their own is the best one. Okay? In northern Nigeria. So the Shiites believe that others call their own Islam is not original. And others, the Sultan of Sokoto, others, they're like, no, you, Shiites, your own Islam is not original. Since those ones are in power, they just went after the Shiites. Everybody looked away. In 2 days, Nigerian army killed over 1,400 Shiites in Kaduna, in Zaria. They buried them in shallow grave with the help of El Rufaya of Kaduna at the time. They scream and they shout like, say, my mama and my papa come from the Shiite family. Majority of people just looked away since they are not Shiites. Buhari started killing the Biafrans, the Igbos. the IPOB. Some of them killed all of them. They don't hear what. All this Biafra, it be like they never learn any lesson. They watched Boko Haram killed innocent people. All they have to do is to call them terrorists there. They looked away. Thousands of people disappeared or killed in 8 years of Boko Haram. But that's just that. But by 2020, the same Boko Haram turned his gun, mobilized the soldiers, and they turned their guns on Nigerians that were waving flags. They told them, Oma, it's a military code. If you are holding flag in Nigeria, military cannot touch you. They cannot shoot you. Oma, they shot everybody. Over 200 people were killed in a single night. 20 days of protest, NSAS in Nigeria, more than 500 people were killed. To this day, there are still so many people locked up in different prisons in Nigeria because of the NSAS. They did it. He killed people. Today, he's an elder statesman in Nigeria. There are people that will be so offended. There are people that don't like me because I call him Boko Haram. They agree with me on everything. But they just don't like the way I should show some respect to the terrorists. Boko Haram, the murderer. That's Nigeria. Now you have Thiefnubu. He has continued from where Boko Haram stopped. You protest, they go shoot you. Now Nigerians going to tell you, oh man, you want to go protest, they will shoot you. See your mate in Kenya, they were shooting them. Tomorrow is another day. You need to stick to this channel. You don't want to miss anything, do you? Because I see they drop, and they low down. Right there, straight there from the oven, on the shelf for you. Let's go back to Nigeria. Okay? And on my way, we need to pass through Abeokuta. Who is ready? Ejelo seat belts. Okay, the wire melt. See, there are some places, right, in Nigeria, especially in Ogun State, Edo State. You see these two? Listen, I know others too. Don't. I'm just pointing out these two. If you are driving your car in these places, you need to also wear helmet for your own safety. Let's pass through Abeokuta. We're on our way to the National Assembly of Nigeria. Deputy Controller of Finance of Nigeria Customs was invited to the National Assembly based on financial mismanagement, based on missing money with no balance. While they were interrogating him, Baba, he just played okay. But to me, Charade, they were probing him about the stolen money or something. Baba, Bolojo Deni Asarailu, po. You could date me over. This is us now in Ogun State.
Then you came and said you were knowing that this place exists.
Wow.
You can come and collect money for
and
the new people can come.
Wow, and people here, they vote for Ogun, right?
They voted for him.
As per Ogun State, not yes. Lagos, right?
Yes.
See, can you see this road? How people are made to drive every day, and then this Dakwa building is chilling. Look at it. Okwelu, Agbado. This is where I am now. Look at this.
Do you know that it's not Abeokuta though, right? It's Okwelu in Agbado area, okay? If for Alagbado, all those places, right? Do you know that there are some people who were born in some communities in Ogun State, right? They have never seen the roads in their community, right? Motorable in their life, and they are in their 30s. It's like you are growing up, right? And all your life, the place you are born, you grow up, probably you are married. You have never seen the road in your community, motorable in your lifetime. Do you know there are places like that? You exaggerate too. However, I saw where Arabambidiot, you remember him? How are you at Pampas? La Midiot at Pampas. Araban Midiot. I saw where he has been calling on you the obedient. But now to value yourself, he said. He said, without you, there is no Labour Party. Now that Araban Midiot, as well as La Midiot at Pampas, plus Abure, now that they have reconciled their differences, Arabambi says you should go and form your own party. So this afternoon, the Wahala inside the Labour Party continue to burn. And it is because they believe that Abure, like they normally do their thing before the obedient came, business as usual, RNG, paddy. But now I want them to become transparent, to become open, to be Now, Wahala don't shell it now. So some of them are now asking Abure to go. Obi was around to address them at their Labour Party secretariat in Abuja. And then, the other things that happened there. Then we'll go to the Araban Idiots, because now we are in Abuja. We're going to Abuja.
Levy, rice levy, textile levy, overdue cargo levy.
Why I say, okay, if you are not here today, we will not be thinking of any coming together to reconcile. We will be thinking of how to go about it the way we think it is better for us to do.
I like this conclusion.
Thank you, sir.
Can you see the conclusion?
Yeah, perfect.
You've done very well. I assure you, every war, every disagreement, we are one family. What is happening with us is worse in others. We will reconcile it. Just know that you met me today and I've talked about it. Item number 1, reconciliation. Number 2, reconciliation. Number 3, let us remain focused on the
No, please. It's my friend. Let us talk to one-on-one.
There can't be 2 mad people in the place. I came out here. I'm not armed.
Yes.
So if I don't trust everybody there, if I don't trust you, I won't come out here. Okay? If I don't trust you, I won't come out here. I'm not armed. Okay. I was in a meeting. He spoke to me.
Yes.
Okay. And he agreed to have a meeting.
Yes.
What we need to do, we need to finish a meeting.
Yes.
Bring your leadership, not just you.
I told him.
The meeting is going to be with him.
Yes.
Alone. We need to resolve this issue.
Okay.
Anyway, forget about this thing that is happening. Okay. At the end of the day, what we want is a solution to save this country.
Yes.
And we are all in the same business.
That's it.
Regardless of where we came from.
That's it.
So please tell the people to calm down. I will go in there and also tell these people.
Yes.
The funny thing about this thing is that it takes only one person to throw a stone.
Yes.
Then another person will reply.
Yes.
After a while, you don't know where the crisis started.
I can assure you that
nobody will reply to them. First, two things happened. You didn't know his number, but you answered the call.
I know. I have his number.
Okay, and he said this is Peter.
Yes.
Fine. I was sitting there and I said, okay, call the leadership. Every team has a leadership.
Yes.
So please organize your people. We'll finish that meeting. Even if we don't we have to meet here, we'll go somewhere. But we'll meet. But we want to meet here. You understand? Yeah. I know. You understand what I'm saying?
We are meeting here. We are not going to meet here.
Now Edo governorship election caused all of this. From how the candidates got the ticket, how Abure also played on others, and then the last election as well as the money that they realized from the election as a party. Now it's in cause all this wahala bidato. And as the obedience I'll continue to say their own political parties, Peter Obi. Some of them are already asking that they should go and start their own political party. So, somebody said obedient, gather here. That's it. Obedience, Oya, gather here. Araban idiots is giving you an advice. What do you think?
Party for them. So let them go and win from the five southeast, five southern east, the 5 states of the southeast. Let them come and become governor. Approach INEC to raise the obedient party for them. So let them go and win from the 5 southeast, 5 southern east, the 5 states of the southeast. Let them come and become governor. President, and change the constitution that once you win 5 states, then you will become president. Was removed. But Labour Party came, they pretended they were our friend. They ran behind Aburi. But their own point, the major thing why the Labour Party was because they have, this conclusive decision within themselves. Let us form Biafra. Labour Party cannot be used to form that nonsense. We are not ethnically based political party.
I'm sorry.
Go and look at the NTC formed by Joe Ajero. Out of 28, 70 are from the southeast, 5 states. What nonsense is that?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I might just need to, of course, interrupt. Your line of thought. I sincerely apologize for this. I sincerely apologize for this, Mr. Arabambi, but we are pressed for time.
I'm giving all this problem.
Anyway, just in 30 seconds, what's the way forward? 30 seconds.
Well, the way forward for us is this. All the people that are moving towards this treble offense, they should leave our party. Joe Ajero, as far as we are concerned, is not a member of our party. Aisha Yesufu is not a member of our party. Kenneth Okoko is not a member of our party. Deliver Moriti is not a member of our party. They are members of Mr. Peter Obi movement, obedient movement. And finally, Mr. Peter Obi must respect our constitution. He must know that it's not a party for them. So let them go.
So according to him, he said the obedient, they want to use Labour Party to get Biafra. That's why you will know that Olori Bruku, see, mentally, look what you mean, right? I'm sorry that I had to make you listen to that. So according to him, the obedient movement should go and use the 5 states in Southeast to become president of Nigeria and then get their Biafra. Don't think he didn't know what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. A majority of them does too. You see, they have been making efforts repeatedly to tell you, you obedience, you are IPOB. They know they are wrong. They know it's not true. But the likes of Araba and Bidiot and Co., they are part of the political players in that contraption. And you have thousands of them as well who are also going to join you to say, let us save Nigeria. You can't save Nigeria because even Nigeria, that they have looted so deadly, couldn't save this deputy controller. How come this money is not there? This one is missing. This one is not straightforward. Now the question, gas. You want to drink tea, you want to drink water, may they give you tea, now coffee. Ikuti de Asarailu. Watch this, how the deputy controller of Nigerian customs from the finance department is being probed and questioned about the financial misappropriation. Non-alignment of the reported figures and number. It be like somebody say, oh, Nigeria custom generated 1 trillion. You can't see, say, income. Nigeria custom income. 110 billion. You see, well, you said you generated 1 trillion here. It's written there boldly, right? But this one says your income is 110 billion. What happened to the remaining 890 billion? Where is the money? Lebibasisi. Stop breathing.
Levy, rice levy, textile levy, overdue cargo levy, wine levy, and cigarette levy. So I want to bring to the notice of this honorable house that out of these 9 federation account levies, that only one, which is CET, as you can see from the table there, is presented to FAC for sharing by the Office of the Accountant General. The rest of the levies, though classified by the Office of Accountant General as Federation account levies, is not the responsibility of the Nigerian Customs Service to remit this money for sharing in FAC. That all these other levies from 2 to 9 has been appropriately remitted into their respective account. So, sir, at this point, I would want to take us to Appendix A, pages 5 to 14, which shows the account that these levies were remitted into. So I return with me to page 2. You see the list of those items there. And for 2016, these were the for rice levy, cigarette, and all other items. There was a total remittance of 49,830,734 naira, 734,568.21. Then I want to take us to I want us to turn to page 5, Appendix A, page 5, to see the central bank statement of those items that were remitted. So if you look with me, you will see, I believe it's there in your paper, where we have the asterisk there. You will see the 10% rice levy. You see rice levy. And you look at, this is the central bank statement with the CBN signature. You see that this money, this sum of 7,349,474,540 naira 37 kobo was remitted into this account, which the central bank statement confirms that.
Into which account, sir?
Sir,
when you say this account, which account?
That is the 10% rice levy. 10% rice levy. Yes, sir. 10% rice.
That's the name of the account?
Yes, that's the name of the account, sir.
10% rice levy?
Yes, 10% rice levy.
That is the name of the account with the CBN?
Yes, that's the name of the account with the CBN.
Okay, so who benefits? Who benefits from that account? Who draws from that account?
Yes, sir. What I'm saying here is that these levies, as I stated earlier, is listed as Federation account levies. And it is the responsibility of the Office of the Accountant General to send this money for sharing in FAC. But for whatever reason that this money, which the Nigerian Customs Service has remitted into its appropriate account, was not sent to Federation account, is what the service cannot give explanation.
Okay, so your own position is that this money was actually sent to the account provided by the Accountant General?
Yes, sir.
And that the obligation of now taking it into the
Federation
FAC account,
yes, sir,
is out of your own purview?
Yes, sir.
That's your position?
That's my position,
okay,
sir.
Go ahead.
Position, sir.
Go ahead, sir.
So, sir, the same thing applies for 2017. And 2017 can be seen in the next page. That's 2016. If you look at 2016, it then comprises other levies. I will still, the first one I picked was for only one levy. If you check 2016, you will see other levies. That is, you see the 30% levy on sanitary waste. You can see that's page 6. You can see the levy there. And then you also see a textile levy, cement levy, and others. So I may need to take water.
You need to take water, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes, go ahead. Or if you need tea, do you need tea?
I may need to take water. Levy.
Soul goes wherever he actually belongs according to his deeds. They always have documents listing about money, 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 but ask them where is the money. In between where the money is remitted, the money is deposited, it will go missing. And not then you just realize that they are telling you about this money from here, here. Then you just start talking about the money. And then you'll be like, where is that money? I don't know. It's unfortunate. So I don't want to say maybe his soul should rest or may no rest. Okay. So may his soul, wherever it is, shall be dealt with according to his own deed. Alaye read all of that and it was like, see, listen to me, emotion, so don't come at me, please. Rice levy, tomato levy, levy of remitted to central bank and to in his own edu, it's like and I think he suffered that attack. And somehow they couldn't even try to resuscitate him there until ambulance will come in. No medical facility, no nothing. Everybody was just like, Shemamuti. You want to drink water? I mean, you go drink tea. I mean, coffee. Shake off in Jack Daniel. I never see me dear. As they were asking him all of that, I would know. Few minutes later, they announced that he's dead. So we wish him what he wished on the people he served. Because small time now, they go soon they attack me, say, man, they respect it. The other way, me, I tell you, say, I they fight the dead. Well, anyway, we'll leave it at that. There is this our man, Olushola Oni Baashegun, which is Dr. Olushola Oni Baashegun. You know Baashegun? If you have been a Yoruba nation or Yoruba sovereign nation advocacy advocate, sorry, I'm tired. So yeah, you would possibly remember the name Olushola Oni Baashegun. Well, they've started, they've registered the Yoruba party in the UK. I know some people are already feeling like, how are you going to call it Yoruba party in the UK? Something like that. See, listen, mine is just to let you know that if the UK law says they could have it, and it's currently running in the Peckham area, you know, to become a member of parliament in the UK. There are so many questions, and I know a lot of you have that same questions and say, what about the Ronukus? How are the Ronukus seeing this? That the Yorubas have been so established in the UK that they have their own political party. In fact, someone is actually running, or a few people are actually running on the platform to become members of the UK or British Parliament. Play this video for the Ronukus that need to see it. This is how they are campaigning in London. Ori Olajumoke lo, Olajumoke lo, ori kò lẹ́sẹ̀. See, my dear Igbo Templars, don't blame me. So that's a Yoruba party, a Yoruba candidate in the UK, and the band singing, oh yeah, oh, damn it, oh yeah, Shokuno Gaza, Oh ya shukuno gazaye. Jehovah no diama. Oh ya shukuno gaza. That's the end of my own presentation, okay? I'm coming back to take calls. And you can call in and possibly share your own views tonight. Let me go try a refill. Somehow, a break. So thank you so much, everyone who is still here with me. Thank you. And if this is your first time on MaiyegunsDiary Politico, well, I talk about is not just politics, but how it actually affects our everyday. The reason why we should never treat it with levity. The type of people who are in charge of the government of anywhere we live, especially that place we come from. Those of you who live under the, under the command of all these rogues, these lawless criminals who believe they can do anything, those who kind of think like they could be royalty and all that. You probably would join us to emancipate your mind as well. You could possibly stand up for something too, and that is if you are not. So if this is your first time of joining me, maybe second time, maybe third, and you've never probably thought of staying, I'm encouraging you to. So let me check my line. Oh, I've had a few of you who have actually attempted to get through. Sorry, I've got a break there. So yeah, the line is still pretty much open. But if you don't feel like calling in or even like participating, right? You don't need to wait for long, okay? You should like the broadcast. That's more important as well. I hear you small. The greatest.
The great youth of Nigeria.
Great.
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 Greatest, yo. The great youth of Nigeria.
Great.
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 Greatest, yo.
Greatest, yo. Ciao.
Hello, Maiyegun. I'm fine, thank you. Don't mind me. Today's topic was very serious.
Well,
This
I
Martinelli and
just thought I should write down notes. Like, write down notes.
I know Martinelli and Director Scott. They are hilarious on this chat group. I have to say, the two of them. It's just crazy. My dear, what can we say? I got a call from my friend, my sister actually. And before she called, she sent like 10 videos of people commenting on Davido and Chioma. I was so incensed. I said to her, do you even know what's happening in Kenya? People are talking about Davido and Chioma. Davido and Chioma that will pack their load and leave all the people here. People don't have Gary, they don't have anything.
Tonight, anyway.
They've already left them. They've gone. They've left two people. The problem that you're having, Davido and the Chioma or whatever her name is, they don't have that same problem with you. As I understand, they don't even live in, the guy doesn't even live in Nigeria. And she's the same breast is telling me how the Chioma as well doesn't. She was telling me how, things are so expensive, the rice, bag of rice. I said, do you even know what's happening in Kenya? She said, what's happening in Kenya? I said, my goodness. I live all the way in the US. I'm telling you about Kenya. All of you are in the same continent. You're saying you don't know. Nigeria has problem. We have a big problem. It is ridiculous. Anyway, there's a comment I wanted to make because I wanted to call earlier on when you read the book, when you were reading the book earlier on today. Okay. And I was saying that part of the problem that we have in this continent of Africa is that we are still under the illusion that there is no war against us, because there's a war against us, and they have a perfect strategy against African countries to keep us, in the current situation that situation that we found ourselves in, with illiterate leaders and people who are bereft of ideas, because they're under the impression that they have to collect this money from all of these so-called fraudulent entities. Where I personally believe that they don't have to. They really don't have to, and it's almost as if that there's a stipulation by all of these entities to ensure that your people are taxed to their death, right? Your people are kept hungry. Your people are kept illiterate. That is the one thing that I've seen. The common thread I have seen, with all of these so-called entities, is that these countries have ensured that the people are kept poor and illiterate. And that illiteracy works to their benefit, because this is what then gives birth to the situation we have in Nigeria, where people have no curiosity, no intellect to actually resolve issues. Nothing.
No ambition.
My God,
nothing really moves.
No ambition, nothing.
Nothing.
I mean, you show us day after day. Yesterday, you showed us the so-called stupid drainage that they did in Benin, right? Today, you showed us this road in Abeokuta, and when you think back to places like the UK and everything, that they were in a worse situation. They were in a worse situation compared to us. They were, the villages and wherever were rife with cholera. They were dirty, unhygienic, everything, right? But they have been able to move from that situation into the super cities that you see today. But our government, local governments, nobody has any idea. Nobody has the only intellect they demonstrate is the ability to steal, to plunder, and to ensure that their people remain ignorant. We have a massive problem in this country, in that particular region. Somebody was saying to me, how do you get the Igbo people cannot join this thing? I'm sorry. Because you and I know they will be made the scapegoats at the end of the day. It will no longer be an us problem. It will become an Igbo problem, And like I was saying to somebody that the injustice that the Igbos experienced during the Biafran War is what has given birth to whatever is going on in this country today. Because that injustice that the Biafrans experienced allowed the Fulanis to perpetrate the same injustice on the Hausas. After they did it to the Hausas, they went to the Middle Belt. After they've done it to the Middle Belt, they have gone and done it. They are still doing it in Yoruba land today and in the South. So when people stood by and let that happen, it gave birth to all of this. And look at us here today.
When everyone is now feeling like, okay, when are we going to actually all agree that the fact that it's happening to one is not happening to me?
It is happening to all. No, because it doesn't happen to you today.
It happens to one, it's happening to all, right?
Exactly.
But when?
When we didn't acknowledge that, this is what has given birth to all of these things. Now, in order for anybody to protest, it cannot be a protest about, and I completely agree with you, it cannot be a protest of, solving Nigeria's problem. It has to be a protest around the dissolution of that entity. If we decide at the end of the day to come together like East and West Germany, right? That is what they call it. That is a discussion for down the road. But for now, the discussion will be about, let us separate. Let us, destroy this contraction, right? Let us, manage our own resources and do our own thing autonomously, right? And then we decide, okay, somewhere down the line that we can work together. That's fine. But for now, it is not let us come together and resolve. No, we don't want to resolve this rubbish country.
I know.
No, we don't. It's time to move forward. Thank you, Maiyegun. I don't know how you do what you do, but I will always appreciate you. Thank you for everything that you do.
And thanks all the time too. At least a lot of you keep it a date all the time. So when I look at it, I'm like, but the only person I've not seen in a while is the prayer docent. Have you seen her in the comment section at all?
Yeah, no, not at all. And I know that a couple of people keep saying, greeting prayer docent, but I haven't seen prayer docent in a while. Maybe it's just about, but I have been watching.
Something is wrong with me then, because I was the one that was like, why are you asking about her every now and then? I'm like, I see all of you. It's only once in a while I mention your names in the, I just say, hey, you, innocent to be or you or that, right? But when I don't see you, I will know. And I can always ask, like,
prayer docent hasn't been, unless she's watching, exactly. Yeah,
possibly. She will eventually come across this and know that we're asking of her. So, Charm, thank you.
All right, thank you, Maiyegun.
Cheers, ma'am. So that's our lady there, Charm. And the question everybody asks me all the time is, how do you do this? And how come what you do don't even sound the same? Like different stories every now and then. I say, if you have if you have enough resources here, that you can get up to, let's say, maybe 10, 15,000 cameras, different grade, different type and all that. If you can get, hang on, let me take this. So if you can get them and then position them in strategic areas across Nigeria, okay, you will have more content in a year than the amount of content that YouTube actually receives from all over the world in a single year, from Nigeria alone. Nigeria is just like a Netflix. Okay? So I have to sift through a lot of them, see how much of those happenings actually affect larger number of people. That's how I do it. Okay? So if I see Agbero beating somebody up, that's not really a story. But if I see Agbero beating somebody up in a way, then I see a policeman next to the van or to the bus looking away, then that is a story, because I could bring that up and say, look at this, just to kind of connect to some of you who actually see that every day, but you never really reason it that way. So it's easier, and I think I'm becoming very good at what I do, enough that I also, I also kind of learn from what is happening. It's like what I want to know. And whatever I do know, I want to share. So it's easier, except once in a while when I am so tired. And I won't even announce and tell you that I'm not coming on. And I really do feel bad when I don't do that. So yeah, thank you so much for acknowledging it. And thank you so much for supporting me too by appreciating. So thanks so much for appreciating what I do by supporting what I do. Hello, sir.
Hello, Maiyegun Baba.
Sir Theo, Elder Theophilus Oniyide. How are you today, sir?
I'm fine, thank you for asking. And you?
I'm very well too. Thanks for asking. It's been a while.
Yeah, Maiyegun, I can do without praying for you every day of my life. Even sometimes, if I try to call in and the line seems to be busy, I would like, okay, we are here. I don't know where you get this strength from, where you get the knowledge from, but wherever you are getting it from, I will continue to pray that you continue to have more and more and more of it.
Thank you.
The Lord will continue to strengthen you, to empower you, and give you.
Amen.
Continue.
Thank you so much.
We are really, really enjoying you.
God bless you, sir.
Maiyegun, and bless you too for me, my brother. You see, I watched that Kenya situation. I'm like, wow. Wow. When people come together to mean business, this is the result.
That's right.
But when I look at the situation in that country, Nigeria, I'm like, can this kind of a thing happen in Nigeria? And I beginning to see that it may not happen, or it cannot even happen. Why? Because that country is not one from day one. That country is not, we are not one and we can never be one. And for that kind of a thing to happen, maybe by the time the northerners, the youth in the north started their own, the youth in the southwest, and the youth in the east will start it simultaneously. Maybe that is when it can happen. But with this situation, with this setting, I doubt if such a thing could happen, because the northerners will be preaching the ethnicity, the religions, and all sorts of things, telling their own people over there that, oh, do you want the infidels to take over this thing? Do you want this to take over? That is the preaching over there. And that is the reason why I feel this kind of a thing happening in Kenya cannot ever happen in Nigeria. And the only way we can go about it is to break all the old thing down. Because if we are thinking we can have one Nigeria after all these settings, after this APC, Egbekegbe of a thing, or even the PDP, look at what is happening in the Labour Party now. So my brother, so I doubt, and I don't even think we can have a situation like that in that country called Nigeria.
Whatever the Kenyans are complaining about, sir, Nigerians are actually enduring worse.
The worst of it.
Anywhere. Do you know that they have stepped down the deliberation on the minimum wage now?
They are
waiting to announce. Now they are saying that they are going to do more consultations. So Thiefnubu is not going to announce any minimum wage. At all. At 60,000 though, at 100,000 though, shishi.
Nothing.
You know they come now.
Nothing.
And everybody is still complaining. Some are even waiting for us to come back to Nigeria and lead the
to come back. Maiyegun, you said something a while ago.
Yes, sir.
About did you say 28 years of your life?
Yes, sir.
In
I left Nigeria.
Yeah. Maiyegun, I would say 48 years of my life in that country before I left was nothing.
See?
Yeah, the little time I've been here in this country is
far with your life, with yourself, the improvement and everything in a short while.
In a short while.
In a place that is not your place, so it's not your country, it's not nothing. No. Then you have lived your life, most of your life, struggling to stay afloat. For 48 years of your life, trying to stay afloat, you are always worried. All you have, I hope they won't take it away. I hope I won't lose it now. And then
I hope I won't lose it now.
Years, you can tell.
And at the end of the day, Don't I lose it? I lose all.
Exactly.
I lost everything. Every damn thing. I lost it. And the little time I've been here, oh, my brother, it's far better than those years I've stayed in the country where I was born, raised, and oh man,
yes,
a country where I'm nobody.
This country, right? It is this country as bad as some people will say to us, oh, well, this UK is this or that, right? It is actually this country that made me appreciate hard work. Like, Esther, I actually believe that hard work pays.
Hard work pays, but it's only here
work,
that you can feel it.
If it's your hard work,
yeah.
No cut, no shortcut, no nothing. It actually pays.
No.
Well, sir, in Nigeria, sir, women are praying that, Heavenly Father, I'm looking for a hard-working husband, a very, very hard-working man, a very strong man. But when they see those who are digging conga, they will say, God forbid. These are those who they are being paid peanuts. Yes, sir. They are now being paid, peanuts. So hard work in Nigeria is simply not the symbol of you know what I mean, sir? Like hard reward,
yeah, I understand.
Reward.
No, not at all. Not at all. Maiyegun, I remember some was it sometimes last year or 2 years ago? Jokingly, I called one of my sister, and the husband doesn't have a job. I'm like, I just said, oh, you know what? One of my friends, who was my schoolmate, has a gas station somewhere in Maryland. And it's a very beautiful, he has set up everything. The gas station is good, blah, 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 blah. I can tell your husband to go and work there. Do you know what this lady told me in her response?
Wow.
He said, Egbon, I'm like, so your husband cannot work in a gas station. He said, Egbon, now. How will my husband work at it? I now said, when I got to America, my first place to work in America is a gas station.
And look at you.
And I worked there. And look at me today, Maiyegun. Look at me today. I no longer work in a gas station. I work with a state.
You don't have to tell us about we know. See, there is a place where you can actually monitor your growth. A place where you can tell that your hard work and all of that can actually be rewarding, and you will see it.
We rewarded it.
A place where you can monitor your growth, your progress, whether it is slow, if it's going to be fast, and a place where the color of your skin is actually not the determinant of your economic success.
Determinant of what? I mean,
isn't that
your religion is not going to be determinant of your success?
Come from, sir.
Exactly. That's how it's supposed to be. But reverse is the case, Maiyegun. Reverse is the case.
Thank you so
much. I don't know. You are highly welcome. Money, my brother. We are expecting you. Everybody is expecting you. And bless you too.
I'll get
my regards to the family. Okay, Maiyegun.
God bless you, sir. Nice one. That's your philosophy. A veteran of the Temple of Truth, among others. There are many more. So let me keep the line open. Indeed. You see, when we say these things, I remember telling people that, you see, it is when the lives of the people who are living in Nigeria is better that a lot of us will be able to enjoy the fruit of our own hard labor in the diaspora. Of what use is it for you to work hard in your life in this abroad, in the cold, Or the criminals are destroying Nigeria, miseducating the citizens, or not even educating them at all. It's empowering them, impoverishing them, terrorizing them, turning them to different kinds of criminals. So how are you going to enjoy all of that money you are making in America? How are you going to drive that your beautiful car in your community with no road, no lights, no this, no job? And you see all of young people just walking about the community and all of that. So you are going to be a prey. This is why I actually say that to those who are living abroad, that it is the most foolish thing to be living abroad and be giving excuses for the destroyers of Nigeria. Don't you think you are destroying yourself in return? You want to go to Nigeria, you need to go and pay the security guys. You are not a prisoner. They are carrying gun around you. Mopo, 6 guns. And you are supposed to be in your country. You are safer in America. That is not your country. But the supposed Nigeria, when you go there, you need protection. Oh, repeat Yahweh. When you think you love Nigeria from abroad, and we say you'll be lunatic, you say, no, we are too insulting. You are too insulting, Maiyegun. You are supposed to go back to Nigeria, Abi, and feel at home. Feel free. Go anywhere you want to, but irony. Then you sit down there in the UK, in America, in Canada, and you are loving Nigeria from abroad, who go kill you there. Sorry, Jai, not you. Hello.
Hello, Maiyegun, the general.
How are you?
Over here.
Today.
I'm doing good, my brother. Hey, Maiyegun, this is JHK calling from USA. I'm just watching the program from the beginning and also see exactly what's going on in Kenya. What's going on in Kenya is the united protest. They're fighting for their children and great-grandchildren. They know exactly the people that ruin Kenya. They know the majority of them that call themselves the government. They know they are criminals, and the Kenya is united, and they're very intelligent people. When you come to zoo called Nigeria, because the reason why I call it zoo, man, most of the people that live there, they are no different than the animal that we feed. Because you look at a fellow human being that lives in...
It's not even an insult to animals, Papa. See, you and I agree that animals will never make the unintelligent or the weakest among them their leader. Never. Don't you think every time we call Nigeria a zoo, we are insulting animals who are more intelligent than some of these guys? Don't you think that?
We pretty much do, but when you look at the scenario there...
I just want you to think of that, okay? Animals will never they will never make the weakest one among them their leader. It's impossible.
They will make the tiger one. Like if you look at the lion,
but in Nigeria, the most corrupt, the most weakest, the most criminal. See, I'm sorry,
exactly.
I interrupted your illustration. So go ahead with it. Let's use the zoo.
Yeah. When you look at the revolution that's going on in Kenya, that I don't think most of our people that was talking that will probably be happening in Nigeria. I don't think any revolution. We have gone beyond past revolution. When you look at the criminals that are ruling themselves in that country now, during the time of they imported all these foreigners, Boko Haram terrorists, ISIS terrorists, they put into the military, and they have most of them all over in that zoo country, Nigeria. Anytime you try to rise up with any revolution in that country, they have criminal government. They have a lot of resources that can counter those people. That is the problem that we kept having. You can see one person in that government can loot a lot of money, then there is nothing will happen. Heaven won't fall. So when we are expecting like a revolution or such things, the thing that happened in Kenya, to expecting it to happen in that Nigeria, it won't happen. When every time, any day that country rise up, they protesting, and we see them that protest last at least 10 days. I bet you we all in diaspora will buy a ticket or find way to get to that country to support them.
Papa, there are many people who are like, they will go back and actively participate.
As me seeing what's going on and how am I suffering in the diaspora and the United States as I am helping developing the country. And seeing the pain I'm going through. I see what the people are doing there. Because when you look at all these military, because what makes you so worse, they have the different stage of the military. They have the Boko Haram one. They will send that first to go attack the protester. If that didn't work, They will bring out the illiterate one on the bush, those ones that are real car with AK-47. They will bring those one out. When you look at the scenario of the situation in that zoo, everything have been polluted. Even the military, the government, everything has been polluted. The easy way is everybody to go their own separate way and deal with your own peoples.
We are getting
That
there.
is the only way you can say. Any day the protests arise in that Nigeria, don't expecting people, anybody that go out there with a placard will be a dead person.
You know?
And I won't advise my brother or any of my relatives to go out there with a placard or anything. No. I will advise them to, once they go, anytime the Nigerian serious, and we see that protest last at least 10 days. If I'm going there, I'm not going out there with a, if I go there with a placard, I'm not showing the placard. Then if I hear,
your placard, who are you calling to come and read your placard? You know who you are dealing with. Go for them. Don't gang up or group anywhere in any park, anywhere. You know the National Assembly.
Thank you.
You know the Aso Rock. You know all the state government houses, right? Go there.
Exactly.
That's where the decision is being taken. That's the kind of protest, right? There's somebody like
that we're looking for.
I will raise money for.
Exactly.
I will go to the front and solicit the worldwide support for such. I will do that. All this one, solely. For where?
No. Those are distractions. Those things they're doing is a distraction about the people. And I don't think anybody is ready to raise any revolution in that country. I think the best way to do everything to make everybody understand that the people in that country are the really criminals, and there is nothing left for any of them, and there is nothing left for the grandkids. The kind of money these people looting, and the kind of where they're going now, the kind of way they will see that Nigeria in 2025 is not imaginable. There is nobody that will be living, and they're starving all of them by hunger and everything without the killing. They're basically the government. They thought their government. They're raising a civil wars among each one of them that in that Nigeria. They're suffering them with the hunger, economic woes, and everywhere. Look at the picture that you showed. There is no single road of any state in that zoo called Nigeria that is motorable. And who is taking all this money? And they have a gang of groups. And they're all of them arms. So how come the civilians and the people that you have, you know that you are entitled of your life and your property? Then every time you see all these criminals sending up police army, attacking people. Who does that? Is the Kenya doing that, but the people know they are right.
Yes.
And they're attacking them back. Because they know that those people doesn't have sense. Because they know that they are not seeing what they are seeing. So what they're doing now to find a way to eliminate those idiots. Because those idiots can cost them a lot of life. But in that we will see there in that zoo called Nigeria. I think Maiyegun is about the time our people understand it that country called Nigeria is no longer a country. That's an anarchy. All kinds of religions. You can see all kinds of religions. And the worst part of it is the northern region. They are most polluted people ever see any part of the world. And they're going towards the south. When they're done with the south, and I guarantee you that eastern region, we are southeast people. Among all these illiterate people, they're bringing to us, they're calling them governors. We know them. And the time will come, all of them, we will no longer see them again. Maiyegun, let me leave you right here. Thank you very much for your program.
Everything where everybody believe. Sure, you get me now.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, my brother. Keep up what you're doing, my brother. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much as well for all the support. Okay, you take it easy too, right? So that's a good one. So, inshallah, I shall be there. Inshallah, I shall be there. By the grace of God. That's what that means. Here, I think I have another caller. Let's see. Hello.
Hello, dear.
Hello, dear. Martinelli.
Papa Gbalagba. Oh, make it okay for I do okay, Papa.
So I saw where you said you got trapped at Heathrow. Is that true?
Where's that?
I saw you wrote somewhere. I think I'm still looking for a flight. Where did they go?
So basically, when the Kenyans were fighting, when they were, when they busted into their
when the whole thing was like a smoky, right?
I received a call from Nigeria that Martinelli, jump on the plane and come right now, come and help us to come and fight. So I go to intro, Baba. I still the intro as they call you right now.
They never find you playing. God damn
Baba,
it,
no
man. You see, we wish that our ministry don't get permanent sites. We would have
Oh,
raised the
no.
money, you know.
And they wait for director's court
buy
and
you.
one trend pero
I
and
mean,
African
buy you
wahala. They
new
don't
plane.
come.
You're not supposed to
Where is
kill
African wahala? One trend pero where are you? Director's court, where are you people?
You get time so that people, all
Eh,
these
people
donors, they
they
should come out. We need
Come out.
we
Let's
need the
go and fight
ministry
for
plane.
Nigeria. They
This
charge
ministry
it.
need a plane. There's some special assignment like that one. When
Come
they say they
out.
call
Let's
you,
go and fight. And you weary. Because the Kenyans that were fighting, you saw diasporans there.
Nobody is calling them to come back.
I
don't know if you have seen them.
I have
They were
Kenyan
not-
friends
I
here.
have
All
not
of
heard
them,
the Kenyans saying
you
you are sitting down in that. You are sitting in the UK. You want to destroy Kenya. Is that why you are asking us to go and protest the finance bill 2024? Why don't you come back and protest with us?
All the Kenyans I know, Baba, all the Kenyans I know, Baba, here, they're sending money back home. They are sending stuff back home.
Now them
So
they raise
for
the
that
money where the whole protest is
to
spent.
support those people because the economy has been shut down right now. So the diasporans are helping them. Just like we promised this like fucking Nigerians. All of you are waiting for us to come back home. Ladies and gentlemen, am I the one that is sleeping inside darkness?
No.
Am I the one that is being kidnapped?
No.
Am I the one that is experiencing insecurity?
No.
Am I the one that is buying food, that is buying one bowl of tomato for 20,000 naira? Am I the one that is buying one bag of rice for 100,000 naira? Is it me?
No.
But you are waiting for me to live here to come and fight for you. Are you mad?
They say you want to send them to be killed. Why don't you come back home and do it for them?
Continue
like
waiting.
shameless thing that somebody will write on social media.
Carry mat and lie down on the floor and wait for me. I'm coming. I'm waiting for the what I want. One to emperor, director's court, African wala, yeah, Sadewa.
Hello, Dibag, and let's take the rescue away.
No, come, let's go. Let's go and help Nigerians. I want
Let's go rescue them.
It's Davido's wedding all of you are going for. Maiyegun, how many people are watching you tonight?
Well, we are not many. I think we're just around 1,400, I think.
And so, how many likes? How many likes do you have? Maiyegun, how many likes do you have?
Don't even talk about that. I always beg people.
Maiyegun, we are here
begging.
We are begging you. Who are the people that are watching you? Who are the 1,400 people that are watching Maiyegun? Are they ghosts? That you can't even get 1,000 likes. We have to be begging for like. Meanwhile, Tokemakinwa will be shaking bomb online. The likes will be more than the views. 500 people will be watching now. 5,000 people will be watching now. 200,000 people will be liking the same video. But Maiyegun is here, telling you people what to do, telling you people how messed up, telling you people the kind of shit you're in. Maiyegun, you are making too much noise.
You don't know I will tell you. That's why I told people that everybody who is having this hero mentality, it is time for you to tell yourselves that nobody sent you. Because you see, Nigerians, they love their oppressors, no doubt. Okay? So it's better for you to stop saying to yourself that I'm fighting for my people. When your people are actually like, who you they fight for? Who sent you? If anybody fight for themselves, I'm not fighting for anybody.
You fight for your fucking self. The shit is touching everybody.
I'm fighting for myself. If you can't fight for yourself, and you want me to,
where are they buying their food from? Which school are the policemen sending their children to? The soldiers are going to come out to kill you, or that you think they're going to come out to kill you. Where are they sending their children to? Where are they buying their food from? Are they not seeing the same shege that you're seeing? So what makes you think that if you come out, that they'll just come out and start killing all of you like that? So, but that just goes to show that all of you are just waiting for your turn. Turn by turn Nigeria Limited. Breakfast.
And it is always better for everybody to know the role you are playing.
So just continue what you are doing. But you don't have access to information. You don't have access to the internet. Nigerians don't have access to internet. They don't know what is going on. If I hear pin for an amount, continue what you are doing. Just continue what you are doing. God bless you. Thank you very, very much for what you're doing. Stay blessed, Baba.
You too. You have a good one, okay, Baba? Take it easy. I like to add Deba, the person we're here now, I want to emperor. So all of you, we know like people will be say the way they are so like they do their thing direct and all of that. I advise you to heal. And my time is also kind of coming to an end. Would you believe it? We only have just about 10 minutes to go, and under 10 minutes to be precise. So let's share it. Hello there. How are you today? One true emperor. Una don't cause problem inside the comment section. Now all of you don't go pick up phones now. To finish what you started there. They don't get you. The network is so horrible.
You finish work
we could
today,
barely hear
you finish work today.
You see, they don't get you. Your network.
They hear me. They don't forget me now. They don't forget me now. They mad. They don't forget me.
See you. Still bragging.
You they hear me? They don't forget me now. You don't forget me now.
You will say you quickly compose yourself. Tell me, say you don't sit right when I told you. When I said your line is cracking. Tell me you didn't sit right. I'll be like, I roll.
Maiyegun, they don't forget me. They want to emperor. They don't forget me.
So
anyways, I'm feeling good, man. Maiyegun, you finish work today, both afternoon, both morning and afternoon. Oh boy, you finish work.
Because there's so much good topic to talk about, and there's so much lessons that we could share for those who care to watch.
See, first of all, let me first respond to Martinelli. I beg, who are you who is going to go and save those slaves over there? I beg, not be me and you. Guy, I not go meet you for Heathrow. Now you go carry yourself, go that dead zone. You and director Scott African Wala. Good luck on your journey. Good luck in
rescuing Nigerians from their oppressors that they actually.
Yes, so may Sky Daddy bless you, but make una no call me to send you money. I no go send you money, Martinelli. Director Scott African Wala.
Yeah, we not that rich to the pay ransom.
Exactly. I don't think. Yeah, you all know.
Let's say.
Yeah, you all know. Exactly. Anyways, let me now just say my few points. So shout out to the Kenyans. Shout out to the Kenyans. You guys are doing great. But I'm going to keep it real. I really don't care what's going on in Kenya. Let them do their thing. Nigerians, rather than focusing on their own problem, they are looking at another country. Rather than focusing on their own problem, it is Chivido and Maiyegun. Make I enter you today. No, they catch feelings for stupid slaves. I beg.
No.
You are doing it. No, hold on. You are doing a serious job, Maiyegun. Maiyegun, what you do here every day should not be taken as a joke. You are doing something serious, so nobody should come to the chat and be chatting shit. What is your business with Davido? What and Chioma, what is your business? We are talking about how people are dying, how people are getting kidnapped, how your Senate president is telling you that because of changing of national anthem, banditry started happening. Like, are you people stupid in that country? No, you guys are stupid. That was a very stupid question of me. You guys are stupid in that country.
We are having too many stupidity in the same sentence.
Foolishness everywhere. Foolishness everywhere. And I was seeing people in the chat saying kudos to Kenyans. Shout out to the Kenyans. Okay. How about you go fix your country then? If you know that the Kenyans are doing the right thing. So go fix your fucking country.
Because they will, they will shoot them, and nobody wants to get shot. And
Maiyegun, let me now go to one of the last points that Martinelli said. You know, when idiots will call in and say Nigerians no get information, Nigeria no get access to internet.
Oh, you see, let me say something quickly, Martinelli. I think it's time I tell you something, okay? See, when you are bantering yourself in the comments, right? I understand that. Okay, there's a reason why we encourage people to call in and express themselves. Sometimes, right? People will sound, like you said, stupid. Sometimes they will sound foolish. I prefer when you disagree with such, just say you disagree with them. Don't call them idiot or stupid. Because I can't imagine what it takes some to actually pick up their phone out of, like you are saying, you are doing your thing now. If I don't cut it, we're going to make mess of this place. I don't like that. Okay, so yeah, keep expressing how you do. I can't stop you on that. The reason is this. Once you drop that, right, another person will come in and just be like, that Martinelli, that is, he's an idiot. And we'll begin to kind of make this place become.
Maiyegun, did I call out names?
No, you don't have to.
The only names I called was Martinelli, Director Scott, and African Wildlife. Yeah, my guys.
One true pro, You know that maybe the coordinates is here, right?
I know.
Just go on, right? And
yeah, of course.
Somebody else, hang on, though. What somebody else would do the same, right? And then they will feel bad that I'm now kind of correcting them that no, please don't make it that way. And I'm saying that to you.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
That's fine. Let me finish my point.
So as I was saying, enter me, I don't mind though. I'm just saying that when people say they are there for them foolish idiots. That's as much as
Maiyegun, I know if you enter you, but just stop to the catch feelings, I beg. You know what's up. The catch feelings.
So I have to deal with everyone, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, finish on.
You want to see. Make I just finish my point. Please, since Maiyegun has said I should not call some of you foolish and idiots. So I will plead with you, and I only plead with you once. I'm just going to do this one time. Yeah. Please don't call on this program and say Nigerians don't have access to internet or information. That is a lie from the pit of hell. Because if you see the things I see in the Nigerian space, like Martinelli said, go and look at Mr. Macaroni. Go and look at Brother Shaggy. Go and look at Akpan and Oduma. Go and look at Sabinus. So is it white people that are watching these guys?
I know.
Man, Nigerians have access to everything. They just don't care. Nigerians don't care about what is going on with them. So please, let us respect our intelligence here.
Until they do understand and
exactly.
Truthfully. You're right.
Exactly. So please do not come up here.
We all know what they do. Sure you get. Let's be honest. Those who knows the bad and defending it, they do know what they are doing. Probably because
exactly. Maiyegun, some of the things that I and Martinelli share on our social media spaces that we'll just be sending each other links. Like, it just baffles me that people will come here, they'll be saying Nigerian military should rise up. They will say Nigerians don't know what is going on. It's like, come on, we are not stupid here. We are not going to play stupid here, please.
We are not going to be encouraging those who give excuses.
And we will not encourage stupidity here. Don't come here, don't come to the chat and be saying stupid things. I beg, this is not the time.
Some people don't like stupid things, but I saw somebody where we say you knock spanner on them, and I'm like, Martinelli, calm down now. Martinelli, calm down. Emmanuel, calm down. No, sure you get.
No. Maiyegun, the topic that you were doing this morning was very important, and some. You said I should not insult somebody today. Fine, but somebody came and wrote that comment. We are talking about the liberation of our land, and somebody is talking about a celebrity that has cheated on his wife and created multiple baby mamas everywhere. That's the person he wants you to shout out to with what you do here every day.
Like we should.
Well, you know what,
Maiyegun? It's not my thing.
Maiyegun,
but it is what
see, Maiyegun, now why I now can't spanner? If you like vex, last thing you go collect your spanner from me.
They calm down. Because if you know what I deal with, right? If some of you actually knows what I deal with, what I deal with everybody here, until some people later kind of like rescrew their head and come back. We not go reach 90,000. We not go reach 40,000 subscribers, right? But at the end of the day, there are so many of them that are out of their own elements, right? They go out of their space, and we say, knock them up. I like those ones. But yeah, you can't really rule all of that out, okay? But yeah. Thank you. Any elders in the temple, shall take it easy.
Anyways,
one true emperor.
Anyways, on my last point. Anyways, about the customs. That video you played about the customs is a very dangerous thing that is going on right now in Nigeria. our borders are not secure. Nigerians, that is a very dangerous thing. Anyways, Maiyegun, later.
Tomorrow is another day. See you. So I have one last caller, just so that you know, at least we stretch it. We started late, but we will wrap it up in another 2-3 minutes. Though. So let's take this. Hello there.
Maiyegun.
Hey.
How are you, my brother?
I am very well, ma. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, this is Bimbo, Texas.
I know it's you, ma'am. So it's been a while, though, like, you know.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I try, but you know how difficult it is to get through. So I'm okay.
Please.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. So I want to encourage my Kenyan brothers and sisters, you know, and I'm going to tell them to just stay the course, because these people, the last resort is the violence, and that's what you're doing right now. Because the stupid man is saying that, oh, it's not a peaceful protest. But before they took over the government houses, it was peaceful, right? They didn't just start today. It's been going on, right? So if he had wanted to listen, he would have listened then. So him saying now that it's not a peaceful protest is because you did not listen to your people when they started. So,
and he's still not listening.
But he's still not listening, yes. And the thing is, if they stop now, those people that they are missing, they will never find them.
You know what?
They will never find them.
Sister Jimmy, right? What somebody said is that
if
these Kenyans don't see this to the end, if they should go back home, Ruto, that is rattled right now. Brutal.
Oh yeah.
It will be like the same thing that happened during NSAS. The youth had a chance. They backed down. What happened? We are here still dealing with it, ma'am.
Here today, yes.
Kenyans miss it, I will report the aftermath. Ruto will deal with them ruthlessly.
He will.
In a way that they've never seen before as well, and it will become more like a more determined, more or less like a more wild. I wish them what they wish themselves. I wish them well.
You don't make a change with peaceful protests and just going and dancing and no. It has to be like, an uprising that you mean business. So yeah, they just have to stay the course. Otherwise, all this effort is just going to be wasted. And then the other thing that you talked about yesterday was our adorable king.
The Emir of every time I talk about him, right?
Oh my God!
I always look at my comments later. There is always one, two, Igbo people that will come. Shut up your mouth. You are talking something you don't know. I'm like, not today. If I see him again tomorrow, say nonsense, right? I will still use him as an example of the worst thing to ever happen to Yoruba.
Yeah, he is actually. But I don't blame him though. I blame the Isheshe practitioners, our traditionalists, the kingmakers. Those are the people I blame because
see, they blame Arebe Shola now. They said Arebe Shola forced him on them. They said they have no choice.
But what do you mean they have no choice? He must have, Arebe Shola must have given them something.
Of course, it wasn't for free.
It's not. He's not going to impose it and say just put him there for free. They bargain with something. So, and if you're going to give the Oba throne is something that is for the Isheshe people. That is a position that is, that is your position. That is a position that is solely for the traditionalists. And you're going to put anybody that is publicly practicing Christian or Muslim should automatically be not eligible for that throne.
Sister Jumi,
you know,
this person is a Christian. This person is a Muslim, right? And the stool they want to become king of, right? It's a traditional
Yeah,
stool.
it's an ishashe. Yeah, it's an ishashe
It's either you drop
position.
being a Christian, drop being a Muslim, or you drop being a king.
If the person is actually known to be like this Oba, you know, like a religious person, is staunch Muslim that's looking to be, you know, get a position there, you know, they shouldn't even come near that seat at all, you know, because for these things that he's doing, there are no consequences. What are the consequences for him, you know, debasing that position? Are you going to dethrone him? Is there anything? There are no consequences to this thing. You know, the King of England will never go out and start talking bad about that seat. And he will still remain on that throne. The people will not let that happen.
Yeah, did you see the burial of the queen? Did you see all the rituals? Did you see all the rituals they did for King Charles now, before he became king? We saw all those rituals. We saw all those things. Including killing an animal as a sacrifice for making him king. They did all of that. Some of them on camera, some of them not on camera. But Yoruba Oba is so proud. He said he cannot worship. You know, he cannot worship a prophet.
He cannot worship.
But he can worship a prophet
because they are elebo. They are this in sacrifice. There is no religion, Maiyegun, in the whole world that, you know, requires more sacrifice than Islam.
Tell them.
There is none. There is none. And I'm not talking about the rams that they kill. You know, I'm talking about human sacrifice. Maiyegun, I'm over 50. Since I've known that they are going to Hajj, there is no year that they go to Hajj that people will not die. And I'm talking in their tens, in their hundreds. This year, 1,300 lives were lost. And they never changed their process. They never modified it to prevent this death.
Health and safety that could have prevented such death. They didn't change that. They've done so many more.
They never change anything. Look, they do this Hajj. They go and throw stone. All the people will go in one day to do that. They will run around that stone in Mecca at the same time. Millions of people, and you don't expect there to be a stampede. You understand? So why are they not reforming that? Why is it not done? Why should it be done in that one particular day and at that one time? And everybody is running around that. Of course, there will be people, there's going to be death. You have all the factors that can, you know, make this happen, and they have not addressed it. They're still doing it the same way, and hundreds, thousands of people are dying. You know, if you add up all the people that have died since they've been going to that Mecca, now you tell me what other God in the world has taken that many lives? I don't think there's any.
And then somebody.
So you now, and you are telling us that your own gods are elebo and this thing. At least I want ititiwa ogun aja eran lafin bo, not human beings. You know. So I really don't. But I don't blame him, Sha. You know, you put a paw on the pig, and you wonder why he's taking it into the mud. You know, so that is what the situation is.
And you are complaining that he's showing you too much circus. You crown a clown. So you crown a clown, expect a circus.
Of course, that's what he's gonna do. That's what he has. That's what he brought. So, you know, you just have to accept it like that. And then one other thing is we are trying to educate our people that they need to take their power back from these thieves. You know, it's when we start saying, oh, the Igbos are not going to participate and the Igbos shouldn't participate. Are we going to get that done? because when there's no cohesion.
Sister Jumi, see, I don't think it's about
Yeah.
Igbo's participation this time. You know that Igbos are very vocal, right? And sometimes some of them would, out of their nature, without paying attention to their environment, okay? They just step into it. If nobody wants to lead, I will lead. Let's go. Let's go, Jerry. I will lead you. That's what they are discouraging. As an Igbo man, in this current Nigeria, don't be a hero. Okay? Don't go around and say we are organizing this or that, because
I know, don't lead it. You understand? Don't lead it, but don't sit back and say, we're just gonna watch you do it.
They say, if everybody wants to protest, let them start it. When they see that they are genuine, watch as the Igbos will join naturally. Even if they tell them not to, naturally they will join. But they will not lead it. They won't start anything.
Yeah.
Go on, ma'am.
Exactly. Don't start it, but you don't say, we're going to just sit back and watch. And, because as we speak right now, the Igbos are still the worst hit by this bad system anyway. And that's not going to change until we bring down the system. It's not going to change. So if you're going to sit back, and what they're looking for when this kind of things happen, like your guy in Kenya now, that's what he's going to be looking for. The where there is lapses in the cohesion, and then they will go through that to clamp down on the protests and destroy it. So if they even just sit back and say, it's not our problem, then they will go through the Igbos to break it. So that's nothing. That's not something that we should be telling the Igbos that just sit back. It's not your issue. It's not. No. We all want to get this thing fixed. We all want to bring this bad system down. So it's a unity.
Must be taken.
Yeah, and if it's not destroyed, the Yoruba, you never get your Yoruba nation. You will never get your Biafra, or you not even get the regional whatever, whichever way where you stand, until we bring the whole system down.
Thank you so much, my lady. Sister Jumi.
Yeah, thank you for what you do. It's Bimbo, not Jumi. You're giving me another name.
Have I?
It's Bimbo, not Jumi.
Bimbo, I will see me with confidence. But thank you again for.
All right.
Normally, I would say just my lady and all that, but I really love to add the name to it. So,
but Jumi is a beautiful name, but it's not my name.
I know.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
So thanks so much for all of that. Okay, and you have a good one too, right? Cheers, ma'am. So that is, see me, I don't know if I'm having a hearing problem or just worry, deafness or something. So the issue is that I kind of do mix them up and I shouldn't. Well, I'm glad that I got corrected and now I will remember, because when I see the name on the screen, there are these names that people kind of register. When they give me a different name, and I'm like, oh, that's different from what I have on the screen. So then remembering that some other time could be a real work. So thank you. So if I ever pronounce your name so wrong, please do not hesitate to remind me, because this is me trying to understand and remember you. And if you don't if you don't correct me, I will be facing such embarrassment. So thank you everyone for your time this evening. We've overshot our time, no doubt. I don't want to keep us awake any much longer, even there are people that wouldn't mind. But let's keep the rest for tomorrow. Okay. So thank you. Kenyans, just know that there are other Africans that are rooting for you, and we are hoping that you will be able to force the hand of the establishment in your country to change your situation, or else the plan of the World Bank, IMF, and some of these lenders for Africa is that of a future poverty, no education, lack of employment, lack of skills, restlessness, insecurity, which is going to be from the crimes that will be rising from their own misgovernance. So wish you well, and we shall see you tomorrow. Stay safe and sleep well. And to the Templars, every one of you, thank you as well. Enjoy the rest of your evening. If you joined us midway, like, later, not from the beginning, I advise you watch this from the start. But if you have been with me for the whole night and you haven't really liked this broadcast, do so before you leave. I'm going to see you tomorrow. Good night.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Maiyegun Diary, Diary Politico. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọba bá gbé wúrẹ́. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Òkúra olóṣèlú. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Ha! Kì máa yí ṣeré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣeré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lápára.